Hey there, good evening. Fancy meeting you out here. It's the evening, because I just said good evening. Normally I address you guys in the morning and I'm nice and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, but the Texas heat has set in and it is hot. So you have to wait until the evening time to get your work in. And today we're taking down goat fences because we just put them up. So now we gotta take them down so we can put them up. You'll get it. Do you ever feel that way? Like you tear things down in order to just build them back up again? A lot of effort, a lot of time goes into the building process. You pour your life, you pour your heart and your soul into something, and then a couple days later, a couple months later, a couple years later, it doesn't yield the fruit. Or you have to tear it back down and start all over from scratch. Like where are the results? Where are the tangible results? Where's the fruit of ministry? Where's the fruit of life? You ever feel like that? I've got a question. What if instead of impact, we shifted our focus towards obedience? And if you've been here for any length of time at all, if you've been on this channel for any length of time at all, you know that our attempt is anyway to help you taste and see the extravagant love of God. And obedience is always going to be a message and a theme of it. So this isn't the first time that we've tried to tackle the theme of obedience, because it's a constant theme in every believer's life. The reason I'm bringing this up is because you might have noticed that I've got, I don't know if you can see because of the sun, I've got some earbuds in. I'm listening to a book, an audio book called The Insanity of God. And in The Insanity of God, the guy hooked me right off the bat. He hooked me right off the bat because he said, I'm a young pastor, I was a young pastor, and I was looking around and I was wondering, where's the fruit? And I cannot tell you how many times I've looked around at the ministry that God's called me to, doing everything that I know to do, all the tips of the advisors out there, all of the guru pastors who say this is what you should do, this is what you ought to do, all of the prayer, all of the time, all of the outreach, all the investment in relationships, the love that you pour out upon people who turn and walk away from the faith or from friendship, and you start to wonder where the fruit is. As soon as I heard I don't see the fruit, I knew I had to find out the rest of the story. This really sounds like I'm not content with where I've been called to serve, and that's not the case at all. I know I've been called to serve here, so I have immense satisfaction in what I do as a pastor for my local congregation. But I am from time to time discouraged about the amount of fruit. Sometimes I miss out on the supernatural wham. I have an expectation that whenever I pray for somebody that, you know, chains are going to be broken off, or that we're going to be knit together at the heart forever. I guess you look around sometimes as a believer and say, Lord, where's the fruit? I think we all just yearn for Jesus to be fully revealed. And somewhere in his book, and I won't spoil the whole thing for you, but somewhere in his book, he was feeding 50,000 people a day, and he's asking the Lord the same question. I don't see your impact. I don't see where the fruit is of where you've called me to work and serve, and I just don't know what we're looking for. I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what you're looking for, but I do know that there's something freeing in thankfulness and obedience. If you can relate at all, you might want to try and pick up this audio book and listen to it, because the Lord is screaming through the pages of just be obedient. You can hear him calling to his kids to say, I love humanity, I love you. Drop the expectations and walk with me. Oh man, I guess what I'm trying to say is sometimes measuring the effectiveness of ministry, doing the job, can be a bit confusing. And it was comforting to know that there's some forerunners, some forefathers in the faith who've gone out and done it. And I guess you could say, you know, it's awesome that this guy, obviously you're reading a book that's a bestseller and you realize that things worked out for him, that there is some measure of satisfaction in it for him. But I wonder, and it leads my mind to wonder, what if there were no satisfaction? And I say satisfaction, what if there was no payoff? There weren't thousands of people in the stands. There weren't thousands and millions of people who read your book about your story. What if, you know, what if it was done? And my hat is off to those who have done it before, for the ones who gave their life with no audience except for the audience of heaven. No one applauded, no one bought the book, no one knew the story. The only one who knew the story was Jesus, because he asked you to go serve in a region, in a country, in a church, in a place, to pour out your life and give it without anybody knowing. That's why I'm saying, I think maybe we should shift our focus from effectiveness, whatever that looks like, to obedience. Maybe you get it. Well, it's getting dark, so I gotta wrap this up. I made this video because there's others, if you're breathing out there, if you're not TD Jakes or Stephen, big gurus in the faith, then you probably struggle with, are you effective? Are you effective to the call that Jesus has called you to? I think we're asking the wrong question. Right verbiage, wrong standards to measure people, money, influence. I wonder if giving a cup of water and checking in with the Lord to see if we've been obedient is what he really desires of us. When he tells us something, we know that he's placed something in our heart and we do it. I wonder if that's what he's looking for. Growing in it, I don't know all the answers, just proposing the questions. I know obedience, I know thankfulness, and I know joy are a big part of the equation. That's what I want to dive into. If you're interested in all of that, go ahead and hit subscribe, stick around, join the journey, throw your 2 cents in. If you know something about this, about being effective and walking in obedience, go ahead and leave a comment down below and bring some wisdom to the conversation. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Oh, gotta get these goats ready. It's gonna get lost in the flames, a little deeper, a little deeper. You got something to say.